From Rixie, this is the Daily Rec. I'm Steve Skeels, host of Rixie's game news podcast, Debuff. My video game recommendation for today is Atelier Ryza, Everdarkness, and the Secret Hideout. Developed by Gust and published by Koei Tecmo, Ryza first released in America on October 29th, 2019, and a few days later for the rest of the West. I first heard about it in the months leading up to its Western release. I knew of the Atelier franchise and had tried a few of the games over the years, but I could never really get into them, mainly because the older ones had time limits, and I'm not really a fan of those in games, especially not when I was younger. But after hearing that they had gotten rid of the time limits a while back, and that this was going to be probably one of the biggest Atelier games yet, I bought into the hype and got it, though I only started playing it pretty recently. Ryza is a JRPG with a heavy focus on the crafting system. As an alchemist, Ryza is constantly honing her skills, learning how to make new equipment, gathering items, and crafting things like bombs and healing items to use in battle. And when I say it's focused on crafting, I mean it. Both side and story quests will require you to craft certain items with specific quality in order to progress, and this is also how you will make your character stronger. You still level up, but it doesn't feel quite as significant as when you craft a new weapon or even upgrade one that you currently have. And you'll probably want to craft like multiple different, say, iron ingots or something like that. Make them as strong as you can, and then you use those plus some other stuff in order to craft a new weapon. So there's a lot of little bits. It isn't just you go and collect these and then go boom, make a new weapon. A lot of times there's steps before that you'll want to craft, but that allows for a good amount of customizability and stuff like that. And besides just the weapons, like I said, you'll make bombs and healing items that can sometimes be even more effective than character skills in battle, so you can make really high quality bombs and do a bunch of damage to enemies. And the really nice thing is that there's a system that makes it so each item is used multiple times. You basically put them in a slot that you want, and they can be used as many times as you have what are called core charges. It's essentially like a point system, a mana system or something, where you have 10 total charges and you can distribute that among whatever items you want to use, and then you can recharge them later. But the main point of it is that you don't just make one item, make it really strong, and then use it once and it's gone. You can pretty much use it however much you want to, which is really nice. Combat, in general, it works on an active time battle system with you controlling one character at a time, but you can switch to the other party members whenever you want, in case you need to have them use a certain action. The one thing about the game I was initially hesitant on, but ended up really liking, is the lighthearted story. There's definitely some dangerous things going on that you have to deal with, but overall it's a fun game about these characters trying to get out, go on an adventure. And it definitely plays out like a coming-of-age tale for these younger teenage characters, I believe. For me, it was a nice change of pace from the typical RPG story tropes about, world-ending calamities and terrible villains and stuff like that. Felt like this was more low-key and enjoyable. There is another thing I can understand turning other people off, though, which I didn't really mind, but it's the resource gathering. You need to pick up a lot of items and stuff to craft new things, and you get a bunch of different tools in order to gather different types of stuff in the environment. It can feel like a bit of a hassle, but honestly, it's really simple. You just pick up as much as you can when you're out in the world, and you can check where certain things come from, so it's not like it's a challenge, really. Overall, I would definitely recommend Atelier Ryza to anyone who likes JRPGs, and especially those who want one that's a bit different or really like a good crafting system. You could also pick it up if you're into easygoing games too. They recently added like a very easy mode, so it shouldn't be much of a challenge for anybody if you just play through it and get into the crafting system a bit, but do be aware that you will still have to do some fighting no matter what. You can buy the game on PC, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch. There will be links for each in the show notes. This has been your Daily Rec. We'll see you tomorrow.